What's going on, everybody? What is going on? It is Tuesday, August 5th. Happy Chair Day. I'm sure y'all already saw the post that I made on the community tab. I shared it also on Twitter. I shared it on my Instagram story, also on my Facebook story as well. Just have to make a reminder that it has been 2 years since that epic event happened. The chair swing heard and seen round the world millions of times. So someone else said we're going to have to add a couple more days in that calendar, such as what happened recently in Cincinnati. I definitely agree with that. But shout out to everybody that is in here so far. If you have not done so already, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. If you are new and if you are new to the channel, I'm glad that you are here. Hit the bell twice to be notified whenever I upload a new video or go live. Shout out to the members, shout out to the mods, shout out to everybody over there on Patreon. If you are on Patreon, of course, you know you will be getting a new Patreon exclusive video this evening, so be on the lookout for that. But before we get into everything, let me acknowledge those who are in the chat or who came very early, and some of y'all came very early. So we got Hacksign KT, we got SD Johnson, Allison, Raging Woody, Firebat, Brooklyn Queen, Cosmo Fury, Church, Brother Man to You, Professor the Film Fan. Who else we got in here? The My Voice channel, Dante 3X, Wallow J, Neelix, Donna C, and yes, that is the official BedBucKKKens intro. Whenever I do a BedBucKKKens video or BlackKaren video, that is the song that plays. Actually, I think I had to download a new song to incorporate because I don't know what happened to this particular song, but the reason why this one still plays is because I have it stored into the StreamYard library. But as far as like outside of it, I don't know where it's at. But I found another song. Y'all eventually will get acclimated to that when the time comes. We have, who else we got in here? Chris Vesey, Sham Shawan, Don P, Kimura, DSM Sinister, Black Voltron, Kimura. We got my digital auntie Moochie's in the building. We got Astarte Jones, Robert Brown, Kid Gravity, Derek Parker, Alonda, Black Voltron. Moochie, I will play the song again, but I have to, get on with the show. I might play it at the end on our way out, if I can remember it. Brotherman said, what is the male Karen called? I think they're called Ken, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think that's the name that we gave them was Ken. I'm not sure. We got Azim, we got Cat Yellow Ranger in here as well. Shout out to everybody that is here. Shout out to everyone that will be coming in as well. So today, I'm finally going to be talking about this Hulk Hogan situation. Actually, this is unofficially a part 1 of 2, because the second part to this is going to come on Saturday, but I'll go into that a little bit later, probably towards the end of the stream. But this is part 1. So as we all know that Hulk Hogan passed away a couple weeks ago. It was like a lot of deaths that happened that week too. You had Hulk Hogan, you had Malcolm Jamal Warner, and there was a couple others as well. The only one we pretty much, for the most part, acknowledged was Malcolm Jamal Warner. Now, when it comes to Hulk Hogan, he has a very, very interesting history when it comes to Black people and how reckless he was with his mouth. And a lot of it came out over time. And for those who forgot, a lot of people found out on the day that he passed. But for some reason, some odd reason, you had the BedBucKKKens come out in full force and not only necessarily mourn this guy. Listen, if you wanted to mourn him, it is what it is. But they found a way to throw Black people under the bus. And we're going to go over some of them posts today. But before we do that, I think it's best that I show or remind people who they are throwing the cape on for in order to throw us under the bus. So let me go ahead now and share my screen, and we will just go and get right into it. And shout out to the I Expose Racist and PDF Files page on Twitter. This is a very good page because they be exposing it. They be finding stuff about some people I didn't even know existed. It could be a famous person. It could be a no-name individual. But they gave a couple of posts here. Some of these you're already familiar with, but I just want to give people a reminder of who they are defending in order to throw us under the bus. So this person said, now this is posted on the day that Hulk Hogan had passed. He said, breaking news, suspected, he was, in my opinion, he wasn't even suspected, he was. Racist Hulk Hogan dead at age 71. Hogan faced long-standing allegations of racism, including firing black employees and allegedly getting caught on audio telling his daughter not to date N-words, and this is with the hard ER. Now, this part right here at the end, that's the one right there that everybody is familiar with. A lot of people are very familiar with it, and I actually have the audio of him saying that. We're going to play it, and this person created a thread. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and play the audio. Now, it's ironically the first thing you see in the caption is, you know, effing N-words. That's the first thing you see in the caption. So this is audio of Hogan allegedly telling his daughter not to date N-words unless they are rich. So let's go ahead and see what he said, just to give a reminder to the people who want to throw on the cape for this dude.
Shell out $2-3 million for music, and I've been calling it helpers, and I've done everything fucking this damn day and night on the radio like a jackass, and he's working with me to make it work. He goes out and really shouldn't call every day and do the shit I do. Stop, he's started this billionaire guy. He's basically did more for her a year than anybody's done. Okay, he had one song after 10 months to shoot her back, still, and momentum, but I try to be the realist, and this is your option. You got a better option. Said you can decide what fucking. He's gonna put $500 million. I go, but right now there's nothing else. We're doing the best we can. So it gets to the point where I really broke was fucking the black and his son, where they've been hanging out. I helped them hold hands together on the tour. They were getting close. I knew more on people fucking good. I'm not a double standard type guy. I'm a racist to a point. Yeah. You know, fucking weird. Then when it comes to nice people, you know,
we all are that way.
Yeah, but when it comes to nice people, you can't say. I don't give a fuck. She's very. I don't care. Fucking football, fucking basketball player, and a half. If we're gonna talk with vendors, we'll see the original. This kid is a multi-billionaire. Right? The thing is, now we start doing these nasty emails, so somewhat arrive at a relationship. And so now don't want to talk to anybody.
Okay, so y'all heard that, and sorry for the audio being low, but because it's such an old audio, and it's like it was recorded, that's why it sounds like that, because it's not like he had a microphone attached to his shirt or something like that, and you can hear it clearly. That's why they had to put the captions up there so people could understand what it was that he was saying. But this is that infamous audio that came out a few years ago, that if people didn't know how Hulk Hogan was and how he felt towards black people, especially black men in particular, this is where it got exposed. And he was talking about his daughter, Brooke Hogan, which, by the way, she ended up disowning him after the fact. She was dating this black guy at the time, and he's basically saying, like, if you're going to date a black guy, make sure that he has money, you know, that he's a certain height, you know, he fits the stereotype to a T, you know, as far as tall, athletic, you know, throwing in the part about having money, basically saying don't mess with a bum ass, you know what, in so many words. If you're going to mess with a black dude, then that's what you should mess with. Of course, you know, you had the usual suspects come out and try to defend that, saying they would say the same thing too. No, you wasn't. You definitely wasn't. I'm gonna save Michael Rappaport and what he said for part 2. I just want to have it focused just on these buck dances for this live. So there's that one right there. But then also there was this incident. Now, this one didn't happen too long ago. So it says Hulk Hogan cancels contract with brand ambassador after he finds out that she's black. Hulk Hogan has been accused of firing an ambassador due to their ethnicity. Essence Janae, an influencer, took to TikTok to reveal that Hogan paid her to be an ambassador for his Real American beer, but fired her the next day after discovering she was black. Now, here's the thing about this. When you hear the name Essence, that just sounds like a black name. Hell, it's the name of a magazine that at one time was black owned. Essence? And the thing is, I actually knew a girl growing up who I used to work with years ago, whose name was Essence, black girl. Also, think of the actress Essence Atkins. So you mean to tell me you didn't know she was black based off of you thought Essence was a white girl? Really? That's right up there with Ebony, which also is ironically the name of was once owned a black owned magazine. But this is her right here. And he said, when I found out she was black, he ended up firing her. Now, there was another story that came out. Now, it wasn't like anything that had anything to do with anything racial, but I tried to get the transcripts, but I couldn't get it. But y'all remember when his son, Nick, got into that accident years ago? He was racing. I think he was doing it was back in like 2007. He was doing like 100 miles an hour in a 40-mile-an-hour section. And he ended up crashing the car. And the person that was in the car with him ended up getting a life-altering injury. And then it was some audio that came out where he was discussing or talking with his son from jail, talking about how that God was punishing his friend, and his son was saying how his friend was such a negative person and all types of stuff. I mean, this guy was absolute filth. Yeah, saying he deserved it and all types of stuff. That came out too. So not only was Hulk Hogan extremely anti-black, but he was just a trash human being all the way around. I remember when I was watching the Vince McMahon documentary on Netflix a few months ago, and it's just crazy because, I was born in 89. So at the time, he was already a household name. I had told some people a while ago, the first time I got exposed to Hulk Hogan was on that Three Ninjas movie, that High Noon Mega Mountain. I think that's what the name of the movie. The one where they was at the amusement park. That's where I first got exposed to him, and that was like in the early 90s. At the time, I didn't even know he was a wrestler. But when I watched that documentary, it's just crazy at the amount of people that he threw under the bus in order to kiss and lick the boot of Vince McMahon. So, yeah, there's not really much nice that you can really say about this guy unless you are willing to overlook all the stuff that he has said and done over the years, which now leads us into why we are here. I wish there was a biscuit emoji. I don't know if there's a biscuit emoji, but just if it isn't, just type the word biscuit in the chat. Because I don't think there's a biscuit emoji. I don't know why. But if there isn't one, just type the word biscuit in the chat because we about to go over some things, okay? We are about to go over some things. And again, shout out to everybody that is in the chat. Make sure y'all hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Or put the raccoon. It doesn't matter. Someone said butter biscuits, put biscuits, and someone put the raccoon symbol. It doesn't matter because we about to go over. This is what I be talking about, y'all. This is exactly what we be talking about. So let's start with this tweet here from this person named Dre Baldwin. So we have this person here whose name is Dre Baldwin. Let me zoom in a little bit and let's look at what he said. He said, if Hulk Hogan was, quote, not a good person, neither was George Floyd. And and let me just give y'all a disclaimer right now. You're going to see a couple of these posts bring up George Floyd's name. Why? I don't know. Like, why? See, again, they use George Floyd as the default to go to in order to prop up people like this. What does George Floyd have to do anything with Hulk Hogan? Why? Then he says Floyd had a criminal record and he wasn't doing it in white neighborhoods. If we're being fair, be fair all the way. What? Let me tell you, a lot of these tap dancers, they were doing a whole bunch of rage baiting with black people because black people did not go out and say, oh my God, I can't believe it. Hulk Hogan passed away. Let's just put it this way. When Michael Jackson passed away, and you saw how the world just like completely just stopped, I think they wanted the same thing with Hulk Hogan. I'm sorry, but his legacy would never, ever, ever, ever touch that of Michael Joseph B. Jackson. Let's just be completely honest with ourselves here. See, that's the thing. They wanted black people to bow down and kiss the ring, and they got upset because we did it. So what did they do? Let's just bring up and talk about George Floyd having a criminal record. Again, it had nothing to do with his passing. If you just wanted to honor the man, all you had to do was say R.I.P., Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania act for life. You were one of my favorite wrestlers growing up. Something along those lines. You didn't have to bring up George Floyd. But we know why they do it. I'm telling you, if you don't believe me, go on to Twitter. If you have a Twitter account, just type in George Floyd's name in the search bar, just George Floyd, and watch the laundry list of tweets that mention his name every single day in a very derogatory manner. If there was a scale or a list rather of what names get searched on Twitter every month, his name would definitely probably be in the top 10. They cannot stop bringing this man's name up. And that comes from the usual suspects and people like this Dre Baldwin. And Moochie, that's the thing. His engagement didn't even work properly. It didn't even work properly. He has 11,000 followers and only 5,381 people viewed this post. The engagement didn't work in his favor like he thought it would. Exactly, Craig J. They bring up George Floyd for any and everything on Twitter. So that's one post. Let's go to the next one. KG, you in the chat. We about to talk about a friend to the channel, and ironically, you mentioned him yesterday when you did the Caitlin. Was it the Caitlin Clark one? No, the Sydney Sweeney thing. Zeke Arkham. Now, this is a person I've talked about on my channel before. It was probably last year. Look at what Zeke posted. I'll take Hulk Hogan over George Floyd any day. See what I mean? It's like, is there a network that y'all are all engaged with, to say, you know what? A white person died. Black people don't like them. Let me go ahead and bring up George Floyd. And then let me tell you that now this right here is the definition of engagement farming, because look at what he followed up the post with. I pissed off the right people with this post. So he basically just told you and admitted to you that the reason he mentioned George Floyd in the same breath as Hulk Hogan's on the day that he passed, or the day after rather, was to get engagement. He basically just exposed his whole grift. If you didn't know if he was a grifter before, this post right here was it. He literally just told you wanted to piss off black people. Mind you, this is the same guy that posted up an AI image of him laying on the floor with jeans on, I guess trying to be seductive, to try to push back against the narrative with the Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ad. I'm telling you, these people are pathetic in every sense of the word. Let's move on to the next post. So we got this person right here whose name is Reverend Damian Thaddeus Jones. And ironically, his username is Noble Negro. He said Hulk Hogan was not a perfect person, and neither are you. Hulk Hogan is a global icon unlike you. So, like, we care. Okay? And who are you? That's what I'd like to know. Because if you're going to say unlike you, you better be including yourself, because I don't know anybody who knows who the hell you are. Then he says Hulk Hogan surrendered to Christ and will be in heaven. How do you know that? Then he says, many of you are judging him for one mistake. One mistake. We listen, y'all. This is exactly why we went over in the beginning the post that what he said in that video. Because the thing is, all they're doing is they're leaning in on the thing that he said to his daughter about dating a black man. That's the only thing that they keep leaning on. But you leave out the part about what he said about his son's friend, the one with the car crash, the stuff that he's done in the WWE to other people, firing that employee because he found out she was black, and God knows what other stuff that's out there that we don't know about. These people don't know who this guy is, but they're ready to throw black people, their own people, under the bus for this dude. Now you see why Harriet Tubman did what she had to do before she could get all her people to freedom, or as many people as she could. These people right here are descendants of those snitches on that plantation. Then he says, many of you are judging him for one mistake. He will be remembered for all his positive impact on millions. Well, y'all can remember that. And I'm speaking for myself, will remember for what I remember him for. And like I said, they're upset because we're not getting out there and throwing a whole bunch of RIPs. That's really what it is. And they use that as a way to say, this is why black people are like this. Oh, this is why people don't care about black people now. They try to do that. They try to do the shame thing with us, but it doesn't work. Y'all look foolish. Now, the next person we're going to talk about, let me just put it this way. This person went on such a tirade that I had to span their tirade over the course of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tabs, because this person crashed all the way out because black people didn't, quote, fall in line. And this is a person that I've talked about on my channel before, maybe recently, maybe in the last couple of months. Y'all probably remember him, but in case you don't, we're talking about Aquarius Wave. Now, I know if KG is in the chat, he definitely knows who Aquarius Wave is. He's another one of those individuals, those black conservative types out there that does the finger wagging thing. He tries to mix other things in there to try to throw off the scent, but we already know. So this is the first post. Again, it spans over five tabs, and the last one is a video. So let's see what he says. He says, killing a baby in the womb is much worse than using the N-word. Yet guess which one offends black, quote, liberals the most? First of all, why are you making it seem like having an abortion is limited to only black women? Any woman of any ethnic group who can get pregnant can get an abortion. But he made sure to strictly target black people, or more so black women, with this particular post. And tried to equate it, or not equate it, but tried to make it seem like it's worse. The thing of the matter is, neither one is really good. However, it with the exception, some exceptions of a woman getting an abortion. It's a small exception, but an exception nonetheless. What's the excuse for wanting to say that word? It was one response. Well, this person right here said abortion isn't exclusively black, which is the same thing I said. So that was his first post. But let's continue. Like I told you, he went on a whole tirade, and it spanned over multiple posts. You got this one right here. He was responding to this person named Alex Cole, who said Hulk Hogan is the guy who called black people the N-word, right? Then he came back and said, black people call black people the N-word, and oftentimes in derogatory terms. I don't know one black person that's calling black people the N-word with the hard R like he did. Oh, also, I forgot to mention it to you. And somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, if y'all know Hulk Hogan's history. Didn't he say something along the lines, and I think this was around the time when his son had gotten that accident. Didn't he say something that something about reincarnation or his fear of coming back as a black man or as a black something like that. Someone correct me if I'm right. Right, Wallow. He only has 4 replies because people were seeing what he was doing. Like I said, he went on a tirade. Every post that I'm going over, he literally did not take a breath. Like they were one behind the other. And it's crazy because it's like he has a blue check. He could have wrote all of what he wanted to say in one post. He has unlimited characters. Yes, okay, I thought so. So there's another. He said in so many words, one of his worst fears was to die and be reincarnated as a black man. Well, he's already deceased. I guess we'll see what happens. The reason why I know that is because, again, someone had played the audio on their live stream like around the time when he had passed, and I heard it. But I can't seem to find that audio, but I remembered it. He says, when a black man kills another black man, he doesn't call him nigga out of love. Again, he only has 4 replies, but like I said, he's going on a whole tirade right now. And like someone said, he only got 4 replies. But like I said, it doesn't stop there because here he goes again. If Hulk Hogan had endorsed Kamala, all these sorry ass Negroes, and he put Negroes in all caps and he's missing the E, would be posting RIP posts. No, the hell we wouldn't. See, this is a individual who is not in tune with black people. And let me also just say this. Aquarius Wave, in case y'all didn't know, he is non-FBA. He has Caribbean lineage. We don't care. We wouldn't have cared if he voted for Kamala. That's not the point. Because his racism got exposed before many of us even knew who the hell she was. And even if we did know when he voted for her, we still wouldn't care about that. We know what he said. He goes on to say they don't give a fuck about racism. They're the biggest racists you'll ever meet. So he's saying that black people are the biggest racists that people will ever meet because we are not honoring a anti-black individual. Because we dare call it out. Now we're the bad guys. Then he says, can't even stand a stranger dating outside their race, let alone their children. If that's what you got from that audio, then you, sir, are extremely lost. What's going on, Tamika? Y'all, this is what we got to contend with. This is what we got to deal with. Exactly, brother, man. He said he tried to disown his daughter because she was dating a black man. Like, why didn't he bring that up? You claim to have heard the audio, but you conveniently left that part out. Okay, let's go to the next post. Same person. He says the same black people who are celebrating Hulk Hogan's death will cry crocodile tears when Bill Cosby dies. Why did you have to bring Bill Cosby into it? And if we want to shed tears for Bill Cosby, we got the right. And mind you, let me also add this in here. None, not one of these tap dancing assholes put RIP Malcolm Jamal Warner. And you know how I know? Because I went through their page and not one of them said it. And Malcolm died before Hulk Hogan. Like, what, 2 days before? And not one of them said it. And some of them are in the age bracket where they were old enough to watch The Cosby Show when they were airing new episodes. But when the anti-black guy passes away and black people call it out, oh, we are the scum of the earth. Oh, I can't wait till y'all see the commentary I got coming about modern day tap dancing. I recorded it, I think, last week. Y'all will see it soon. So now that we've gone through that, now the last part we're going to go through again from the same person, this same Aquarius wave. First off, let me take this, stop sharing right quick because I think something came up where it's not going to let me play the video. So I have to fix that. Hold on, y'all. Look at this. This is the same guy, Aquarius wave. Now, this is the last part we're going to go over. It's a 17-minute video. God, give me the strength. Because I remember what happened the last time. He says, in the caption, "Dear Black people, let Hulk Hogan rest." We're letting the man rest. We just said, F him. Okay? You know, life goes on. Y'all just mad because we not in the morning 7 days and 7 nights like y'all are. They spent more time going at us because we decided to call out what he is instead of just saying RIP to the man. You know, hopefully you have a good transition or whatever. I was a fan and keep it moving. They got so upset because we did not cry or we did not mourn this dude. These people are I said crazy. I was about to combine two words. They are insane. So let's see what nonsense he's about to say because I know the caption alone already. Listen, Miss Nisi, I'm gonna do my best, you know, not to go off like I did. You know what? I think I can get through his commentary much better than fake him. No, Till Dog, 17 minutes, not 7, 17.
It has been a hell of a week. First, we had Theo from The Cosby Show, or Malcolm Jamal Warner, pass away at 54 years old, I believe he was.
Mind you, this is like the first time he's mentioned Malcolm Jamal Warner. Because like I said, I went to his page and he didn't say anything about him, but he went on a whole tirade about Hulk Hogan.
Then a couple days later, we have Ozzy Osbourne pass away. And then a day later, Hulk Hogan. Now, I was not necessarily going to touch on this subject.
Lies. You want to know how I know it's a lie? He said he wasn't going to touch on this because all the posts that I read to you from him before this video popped up were posted the day before he made this video. All those posts where he went on them tirades against us about Hulk Hogan were made on the July 24th. This video was posted up on July 25th. So him saying he wasn't initially going to do this, make this video is some bullshit. Did you not think we didn't pay attention to that? We don't think we know how to read timestamps?
You know, I feel that it is best to just kind of, you know, send your well wishes, your condolences, and move forward, hopefully with good memories of these individuals. But when it came to Hulk Hogan's passing, which was just yesterday, as far as me filming this video, I'll be honest, I was pissed off about the response that I saw coming from a very specific group of people. And I'm going to name that group. It is Black people, or more specifically, Black liberals, right? That's probably the best way I can quantify it, though there are others who may not classify in that specific group, but it was almost exclusively coming from Black folks, where I'm just going to go ahead and let this dude right here articulate the sort of stuff that you would have heard and seen on platforms like X. So we're going to go ahead and bring this up, and I'll see y'all on the other side.
Yeah, so Hulk Hogan passed this morning, 71 years old, cardiac arrest, and niggas immediately go to the timeline talking about rest in peace. I hope you rotten in hell, you racist piece of shit. Fuck you. All this old crazy, hateful shit. So I asked myself, what the fuck did Hulk Hogan do that was so racist that you would wish a man rotten hell or rest in peace on the day he died? Fuck what he said, because we all say some racist.
Now, before I go any further, remember, when Kobe Bryant passed away tragically in that helicopter crash with his daughter and those other people, didn't the usual suspects, especially a lot of those women, come out and say, oh, Kobe Bryant, he's a this. Kobe Bryant, he's a that. Why are we mourning him? They did the same thing with Michael Jackson. They did the same thing with Whitney Houston. Anything that went bad or had turmoil in their life, they did the same thing. But we're supposed to just bypass what Hulk Hogan said and most likely did. And shout out to DeMarcus for the 5. He says, making no sense of the premise to attention seeking nowadays. Exactly. It's the hope. That's all part of the grift. Let's continue.
Racist shit. Even us niggas say racist shit. What did he do that was so racist that you would wish the worst on the man the day you die? Because guess what? Motherfucker, you gonna die too one day. And truth be told, do you want motherfuckers saying that shit about you? Because I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Out of all the shit you wishing on him for what he said, I'm gonna be real, nigga. I don't want my daughter dating no Peckerwood unless she got $100 million. So I can't get mad at him for saying he don't want his daughter dating no nigger unless it's $100 million nigga.
Y'all. So basically what he did is he brought up somebody that agrees with him. I don't know who the guy in the video is. Well, the video that he brought up. I don't know who that is. And I'm sure if he posted this to TikTok, they probably was flaming his ass in the comments. I'm almost certain of it.
Shit, I feel the same motherfucking way. So how am I gonna knock this man? At the end of the day, that's Hulk Hogan, bro. That's an American icon. And if you under 35, you really need to shut the fuck up anyway, because you didn't even get to experience Hulk Hogan. You don't even know what the fuck you talking about.
Now, I am 29 years of age, soon to be 30. And Hulk Hogan was littered throughout my childhood. I grew up in what I consider to be the golden age of the WWE, right? I'm talking about my dude Rey Mysterio. I'm talking about Undertaker. I'm talking about Kane. I'm talking about Triple H. Like, I grew up in it. Stone Cold, I grew up in it. And Hulk Hogan was everybody's father. That's who he was. Vince was grandpa, Hulk was dad. Simple as that.
Did y'all just hear what he said? Vince was grandpa and Hulk was dad. What kind of household did you grow up in where you saw those two as grandfather and father figures? 3 minutes and 48 seconds, y'all. Just giving y'all a heads up of where we're at in this video. 3 minutes and 48 seconds.
So, yeah, there were people talking about, dancing on his grave, singing on his grave. And the first message I actually saw was, in quotes, "It's hot down here, brother." Now, again, if you don't know Hulk, then that would make no sense. But basically, he called everybody brother, ironically enough. And so this man is saying, he is in hell. And the responses that I saw for that were people celebrating, laughing. I mean, okay, we can actually pull this up in real time. It might be a little funky as far as spatial wise, because I didn't necessarily set up for this specifically. I really wanted to get more into the sentiment of this so-called selective outrage about racism. But
look at how he's just like brushing it off. He says selective outrage about racism, and look at how he looked at the camera, and then he did the air quote as if like it was just nothing. Again, this dude has Caribbean lineage. He is not of the soil, so I'm not surprised that he's just brushing this off. If y'all don't believe me, just go to his channel and look at some of the stuff he talks about, especially when it's the discussion of FBA in particular.
Let me go ahead and bring some of these up. Okay.
But I know what he's doing because I know what type of audience he has. He's trying to get the same type of audience that Fakem has. Like all these black conservatives like him and Fakem and all the rest, they all play off of the same playbook. Like none of them are doing anything that is remotely unique. We've seen it 100 times. That's why their talking points like this are so easy to debunk.
So yeah, there's a message. It's hot down here, brother.
Real Supreme, you're right, he did, and we saw that in one of the posts that I went over earlier.
1.9 million views, 36,000 likes.
You're probably upset because every post that you made on that same day around that same time didn't even come close to that type of engagement, and you threw your people. Well, I don't consider him my people, and I'm sure some of you in here don't claim him either. After all, he said Hulk Hogan was dad and Vince was granddad. I don't know about you, but I don't have any grandparents named Vince, or my dad's name wasn't Terry, which is Hulk Hogan's real name, Terry Bollea.
And I like this first message. It said, "Thank God you aren't God." So some people chimed in obviously after the fact, but look, you're nuts. That's become a staple of these wokety woke lefties.
There it is, y'all. There it is. The bastardized version of woke. And he keeps saying black liberals are like wokety left and everything like that. Promise you, some of the black people that did not like Hulk Hogan, not every black person is a Democrat. Not every black person is on the left or a liberal. For the most part, many of us in here are not Democrats. I know I'm not. And I feel the same sentiment as everybody else when it comes to him. Well, almost everybody, because there are those like the one on your screen that feels a type of way because we don't feel the same way he does.
Laughs an evil N-word. So now you have, again, people chiming in from the other side. Tell Ozzy I said what's up. So, you got stuff like that part. And again, you obviously know who the demographics are when it comes to that sort of messaging. You're going to see that down there with this one. Yep. Cracking up. So again, please, LMFAO, who is this? Yep, of course.
And I'm glad you said that, Wallah. How would he know that what these people's political affiliations are because they're black? See, again, a stereotype that he threw on to black people, that we're all left-leaning, that we're all Democrats, that we all voted for Kamala Harris and all this, that, and the third. See, that's straight out of the Dub S playbook. This guy practically has it memorized.
Of course, look at that. Yep. Same old. So what was interesting to me after I, did a little bit of my petty dance on X,
which is what we went over, and it was a very offbeat, off-rhythm dance,
and gave my own TED talk on this situation.
Was it really a TED talk? Because it just sounds like you were being very overly emotional to me. Not one fact was there. It was all opinion.
I realized that these are some of the most hypocritical human beings, period.
Pot me kettle.
Here they are calling one another all types of N-words. And, oftentimes it's said that it's a term of endearment. We're using it to celebrate one another. We are taking the word back from Massel and we're using it for our greatest good. Here's the thing. When a black man takes another black man's life.
So listen to this, y'all. He's basically taking what he posted on Twitter and putting it now into video format, because everything he's just said, like in the last minute, he put it into word form, into text form. Now he's giving it to you verbally. So we got text vomit. Now we're getting verbal vomit.
He oftentimes does not say the N-word as a term of endearment. So you catch where I'm throwing. And yet that happens more frequently than anything else. Now, as that man said in the video I brought up, what did Hulk actually do? Well, what he said in a private conversation was that he did not want his daughter marrying a Nigger, something which I believe somebody like, I don't know, Chris Rock would agree with.
No, why did you? Is this the part where you're going to say there's a difference between black people and niggas? Is this the part? Is this what you about to do? Is this where we're headed with this?
We love black people. We hate niggas.
How did I know? How did I know that he was going to do that? How did I know he was going to say that? That's the bit. That is what every anti-FBA person does when they mention Chris Rock, is they go back to that stand-up that he did back in the 90s when he said there's a difference between black people and niggas. Exactly. Professor Film Fan, stand-up comedy and a rant is not the same thing. Not even close.
So imagine.
And brother man, you're right. I just heard about what Chris Rock said. I think Dewan B had did a live about that. I think yesterday, I think it was. Or the day before, I can't forget. I can't remember.
Those words now coming out of this racist white man's mouth.
And you want to know what's so interesting? Sorry to pause it so much. Let's hypothetically say black people didn't say that word. These mofos would still find a way to nitpick us. They would find something or some way to try to still, or even not even try, but still throw us under the bus. If it wasn't this, it would be something else.
Really? Because how many of y'all out there, civilized, sane black folk, I'm going to discriminate for a little bit right now, black folk only, want your daughters marrying an Nigge, hard R? How many of y'all? Raise your hand right now if that's who you want your daughter marrying.
See how he's trying to spin it? See, like how he's trying to spin that to try to still defend what Hulk Hogan said. He didn't. I can tell he probably didn't even listen to that whole audio. Like he was very vivid and very specific, even before he got to caught saying the hard R. Y'all, let me continue.
Like I actually understand that statement of $100 million, because at the very best, it probably means that there's somebody who is productive, who is out there doing something in the world, and is aspiring towards high.
Well, here's the thing. He has all this smoke for black people, but he didn't bring up Brooke Hogan, his daughter, who disowned her father after he said that. Why aren't you talking about that part? Apparently, she felt offended by it to the point where she cut her dad off altogether. No conversations with him. And that's who he said it to. But he doesn't bring that part up. He's only worried about what we think. And because we don't think like him, or we're not mourning, quote unquote, like he is, then it's got to be something inherently wrong with us.
Things. The very worst, he might be a dope dealer or whatever it may be. Now, because he's black, right? Just because, that's a substantial amount of money.
Then why did you bring up dope dealer then? I mean, if he has $100 million, it doesn't mean that he's a dope dealer. Why was that your go-to? You?
But let's say that, okay, he was using this derogatory term. That is.
What do you mean? Let's just say he was using. He was using that. No, let's just say he was using. What the hell?
Used every single day by black folks indiscriminately in both so-called positive ways and in mostly negative ways.
How many black people are going around calling people the N-word with the hard R in the same fashion that he is? I couldn't tell you one that's doing it. I couldn't mention one that is doing it.
That over there, that did this to me. I'm gonna unalive that nigga, right? And yet here is a Here's an excuse to play the victim once again. This is the conversation I actually want to have. I know we're already deep into this, but I was going somewhere with this.
We've been on here for 8 minutes and 55 seconds, and he ain't said shit of substance yet, except to himself and maybe his smooth-brained audience that eats up everything that he's saying.
So we're just getting the wheels churning. When you have taught a group of people that they are the forever victims for no other reason than they are, right? Obviously, you give them context of history that they never.
Here comes the finger wagging, y'all. Here comes the lesson, quote unquote, the lesson.
Experienced firsthand, but you give them that, right? You say that you are the forever victim no matter what, which means you can act in a terrible manner. This means that you can act in that kind of way and have no repercussions. And that's exactly what's happened for most Black folks. And now it's, in a larger group or to
understand. He's, again, like you said, he's not saying anything at all, but he's using how Black people are responding to Hulk Hogan to still tear down on Black people. And I guarantee you, because honestly, this is my first time actually listening to this video. That's probably all he's going to do for the rest of the video.
Larger extent, it's for the alphabet folks, it's for the Transformers, whatever. You can't talk about them. You can't bring them up. But they can literally wish you hell on the day that you die publicly, and nothing will happen. And I'm not one who is into this, parasocial sort of relationship thing.
So because Black people don't care about Hulk Hogan passing because of his history and what he has said about Black people, again, somehow we're the bad guy. We're supposed to just forget. That's what it is. I couldn't think of it. He wants us to forgive. Just gloss over what he said and just move on. He's in that same boat and crowd as the usual suspects who tell Black people to get over slavery, get over Jim Crow. It was so many years ago, but when it's something that happens to them, then the world just has to stop on the drop of a hat. And we have to cater to their feelings. We have to cater to their emotions. Nope, ain't happening. Sorry. The day of the docile Negro is done. Want an example? Look what happened on this day 2 years ago. Need another example? Look what happened a week and a half ago in Cincinnati. Which, by the way, they're still trying to say that Black people were the aggressors in that situation. Notice whenever Black people defend themselves, somehow, we're being too aggressive. But when we are the ones that's getting put upon, then, somehow we deserved it. I'm telling you, that double-edged sword is pointy as hell. Sharp too.
I believe it is best that we don't form these bonds and, create these idols of people. But you could at least just shut the up. Like, you could say nothing at all. That's always a choice. I know a lot of these.
No, well, I think we will choose to speak. We're going to talk, and we're going to talk our ish and say how we feel. And if you don't like it, you can choose not to watch it. The thing of the matter is, he saw those posts about Hulk Hogan and what was said, and he decided to go on the tirade. He could have ignored it. He chose not to. And if people responded to you a certain way, let's be real here, you welcomed it because you was engagement farming. You were rage baiting Black people. You knew the hot buttons. And you put all those posts up there, and just to conclude it off with this. I can almost guarantee that this video, because while it is posted up on Twitter, is probably posted up on his YouTube channel as well, because he does have one. I can almost guarantee it. Because he has to get the engagement on Twitter, and he has to get it on YouTube. He also has a TikTok as well, which I'm sure he talked a lot of stuff over there too. I'm telling you, these conservative grifters are not slick. We are on to them.
It's terribly difficult for them to do so. Like, you don't actually have to have any sort of opinion about the man's passing. You can remain quiet. You can.
Here's the thing. It's not even necessarily about the passing. It's because of what he said and what he did. Like I said, Him being anti-black, that's something that black people had an issue with, but this guy had made enemies with a lot of people who aren't even black, who have had issues with him over the years in that industry. But you know what? It's not engagement to go after them. To go after us means you get and you gravitate towards, you get a lot of gravitational pull towards you.
Hold the sentiments in your heart that you hate him. He's so racist. He's so mean because he's using a word that you use every day, and holds beliefs that you hold towards, whether it's those people or other people, groups of people, right?
Is he trying to say that we're the same? Is he really sitting up here trying to say that black people and Hulk Hogan are one in the same? That's what it sounds like to me.
You can literally just shut the up. It's an option. You don't have to.
You have an option to mind your business. That's an option you have, but you didn't. That's why you're on here making this video. Let's be real here, y'all. This video right here does not even remotely upset me. It doesn't, because it doesn't surprise me that he made it. Really, at the end of the day, this video that he made was almost, I guess you could say, therapeutic in a sense for him because he was upset. Remember, he's the one that went on a tirade for like 5 posts and then made the 17, almost 20-minute video because of what black people said. We got under his skin. That's why he made this. We pissed him off. Put some clap emojis in the chat. Put some clap emojis in the chat. Shout out to black people all over that got his panties in a bunch. Mission accomplished. And the best part about it is, it won't be the last time. I can almost guarantee it. It's going to be something else that's going to trigger him that black people said or did. And he's going to come on here. He's going to make, shoot, he might get so mad. He might make an hour-long video, but we ain't stay on here for no hour.
Say anything at all, but instead this is about self-service. You know, I saw somebody who said basically in quotes, it's like, oh, Hulk Hogan is dead, how do I make this about me? And it's like black fight. And this was a black man who said this. A community of people who has to make everything about them. Everything is a grievance. Everything is, oh, that man was.
It's funny he says that, but I literally did a video yesterday, and by the way, it's funny. I did a video yesterday, and y'all probably saw it. The one about the "It's Okay to Be White" campaign and how to use Sydney Sweeney and the American Eagle ad to push it. I had so many PC people come into my chat talking about it is okay to be white. I said, y'all, the thing went completely over your head, but hey, go have at it. He's talking about the he said the community has to have everything be about them. And if we want to have stuff be about us, so be it. What's the problem with that? Every other community can do the tribalistic thing, but the minute black people do it, it's a problem.
That man didn't know you. And that's the saddest part. Likely few people will ever know you because you've likely have not done anything of significance. This is a man who built an empire, whether you hate it or love it, whether you're a fan or not. There were times.
It's a lot of villains who built empires. So what's your point? And they are more notable than he is. So again, what is your point? Are you trying to say because black people that's going in on him who probably haven't built something like that, that we have no room to talk? That sounds just like the other post that another one of these tap dancers made talking about he left a legacy and you have no room to talk. Remember, I could have sworn that, you know, we honoring the First Amendment, you know, freedom of speech and all of that. But the minute we do it, is it more loopholes in that thing than Swiss cheese?
Times that I love the man, and there were times that I didn't, but that was from a spectator standpoint, from entertainment. We know who that is because he built something with his life. We don't know who the hell you are. And
we don't know who you are. A lot of people don't know who this guy is. I mean, this is so childish. This is so childish. This is like that I know you are, but what am I type of thing. Really, how old are we? You said you were 29 years old, about to be 30, and you're doing this childish thing of he's more better than you, so you have no room to talk.
You're likely going to pass away with nobody knowing that. Again, the ones
playing
I'm
the whole
talking
thing,
to,
brother
I'm
man,
talking
'cause
to
we
like
got
this
time
for a
today.
specific reason. Fake outrage. If you cared so much,
And you're fake caring. He's fake caring.
actually, about the character of this man, then you would not celebrate the lives and the deaths of those who are destroying your very own community in real life.
Oh God, let me hold on. Just is he about to mention George Floyd just like all the others? I'm just wondering, because it's amazing of the hypocritical things that they're talking about. Because in Hulk Hogan's community, he could be very well seen as a hero, or even in some cases a villain, with what he has said. But see, the thing is, he didn't disrespect him in the way that he disrespected us. So that's why we feel an animosity towards him. Now, if he had said something like somebody had said in the chat against one of their groups, and y'all know what I'm talking about, then he would have been persona non grata. But they'll bring up George Floyd and try to say we made him a martyr. We did not make George Floyd no martyr. We didn't hail that man up as a hero. When they put up them statues of him, the family didn't ask for that. We didn't ask for that. The other usual suspects did that. So I don't get it. I'm so confused. Black Trini Girls about says I don't hear it. She said I don't hear Trini yet. Oh, like I said, he does have Caribbean lineage. Hooligan said he inching with them tether bumps. You're crazy.
They take lives of your brothers and your sisters. You call them heroes, role models. These are your rappers, your dope boys, your jacker boys.
I don't know. I can only speak for myself. I don't call them no heroes. I don't know about you. I don't call no dope boy, no robber, no thief, or no unaliver. None of that. Meanwhile, let's talk about the people in the usual suspect community who get helmed up as heroes. Look at all those Confederate statues. Not only were they the villains of their story, but they tried to divide a nation. They tried to secede from the Union. They were considered to be, what's that word I'm looking for? Oh, yes, traitors. Let's talk about Jeffrey Dahmer and all the support he got, especially from a lot of PC women when he was locked up, knowing what he did. Daniel Penny was literally called a hero after he choked out Jordan Neely on that train a couple years ago. Kyle Rittenhouse was called a hero and said he was defending himself. George Zimmerman who's the one that Loman, Timothy Loman, the one who killed what's the little boy's name? I'm drawing a blank, y'all. Someone help me out in the chat. Tamir Rice. What's up, Tamir Rice? Yeah, Derek Chauvin was called a hero. The only reason they're upset is because he's locked up. That's why they keep mentioning George Floyd. If Derek Chauvin if the system worked the way that it was supposed to, and he was supposed to actually get out or not go to jail, they would never mention George Floyd's name nearly as much as they continue to do today. And there's a plethora of others over there that were literally seen and called heroes after what they did. So he can miss me with that. Good one, Wallow. Ashley Babbitt. When they found out that it was a black man that popped her, oh, they wanted his head. And they still call Ashley Babbitt a patriot to this day.
And you celebrate them. And you cry, you weep when they die. You cry when they go off to prison, talking about free this person and free that person. Fake outrage. And you're allowed to get away with it because you have been given a temporary victim card, because folks are getting tired. You know, there's a reason why all that black fatigue stuff was coming up. And then
oh Lord, he had to dig up black fatigue from the grave. We ain't heard that phrase in months. And he had to bring that up. And he said, there's a reason why people are tired of have black fatigue. And he says, we've been given a temporary victim card, a temporary victim card. We've never had no victim card. Exactly, Miss Jalen, who's tired? Correction, hooligan. He wants to get on Fox News so bad.
Turning to ghetto fatigue, and now, you know, there's a hybrid of sort. Everybody,
you do know that you're black too, right? I want you to understand this. If they have so-called black fatigue, you fall into that category. You're just not FBA, but ethnically wise, you are black. That means they're tired of you too.
Is tired. Y'all might not be tired. Y'all still doing laps and, you know, playing the victim. I would get tired of just being broke, dusty, and disgusting. I would just be tired of not going anywhere in my life because I'm just playing the victim and essentially not getting any sort.
I bet you he is the black friend. You know how like white people say that I have a black friend so I can't be racist? He's that black friend. He is the quota. When they say we met our quota, he is the quota that has been met. And shout out to Miss Jalen for the $5 super sticker. I appreciate you.
For the results, I would just be tired from that. But everybody else is tired.
And who's everybody else? That's what I'd like to know. Do you think you speak for PC? That's another thing when it comes to people like this. They think they are the voice. Remember what happened when Candace thought she was their voice? They was like, nah, you don't speak for us.
Starting to call it out, including people who look just like you. If you're the type of person who can piss on somebody's grave digitally, it may be, have that sentiment towards them because they're using a word you likely use on a daily basis to refer to the very same people.
And he's still going back to that. Like, he's still going back to that. And it's like, okay,
you're the problem. That man is dead and gone.
Okay, people die every day. Isn't that what they said? People die every day. What is it about Hulk Hogan that holds such sentimental value to you that you got to throw black people under the bus because we felt the type of way about him? They do it to our black legends all the time. And we're supposed to just deal with it? Oh, no. You're right, Dewani. He is talking in circles. This video could have been ended in 5 minutes, and he wanted to stay on here for almost 20.
He has lived his life. He's hopefully made peace with his creator. You're still here, living in your hatred, living.
No, I'm actually living pretty nicely. I don't know about y'all. In the chat, are y'all living in hate? I don't want to know. Are you living in hate? Because he says we're living in hatred. I'm not. You know what? Let me go ahead and type that in chat. I am not living in hate.
In your misery. Who's really the loser in that situation?
Right now, the only loser I see is the person talking right now.
Hate him or love him, he lived a full life. What the hell are you doing with yours?
What are you doing with yours?
Pretending to be mad about something that you do every single day.
I don't know about you, but when I was calling out, honestly, when Hulk Hogan died, I really didn't say anything. I just said, that's literally how I was. Okay. And went on about my day.
Okay. That's my message on that one. RIP to Hulk. RIP to Ozzy. R.I.P. to Theo. I'm gonna call him Theo.
Now listen to the disrespect right there. He said, "I R.I.P. to Hulk Hogan, R.I.P. to Ozzy, and R.I.P. to Theo." You didn't even have the decency to call him by his real name. You called him Theo. He referred to him as his character. At least when black people said R.I.P., we said R.I.P. Malcolm Jamal Warner. We knew him as Theo from The Cosby Show. I don't think I came across one black person that said R.I.P. Theo until now. And the crazy thing is, it's not like he doesn't know his name because he said it in the beginning of this video. He said Malcolm Jamal Warner. He said, see, all that tap dancing babble that he's doing done fried his brain. He forgot the man's name.
To Hulk, R.I.P. to Ozzy, R.I.P. to Theo. I'm gonna call him Theo Farrah because that's who he was to me.
That's who he was to him. My goodness. My goodness.
So,
and he said it so dismissive. They always tell people, pay attention to body language. He said it in such a very dismissive tone.
Pray for those families, for their peace, for healing, clarity. And if anybody else who I did not like, am not a fan of, disapprove of, or to pass, unless, I do have my selective aspects when it comes to, the predators and individuals like that. But if Kamala, Joe Biden, any of these, Obama were to pass, I would send an RIP. I hope they rest. I do. Like, I don't wish their lives to be taken from. That's the difference, I guess, on this side. I don't.
He says that, but what does what does his heart actually say? That's what he's saying out of his mouth. But let's be real here. With the way he's carrying on right here, and the way that I know that he, like, his mindset is, he would probably say a little bit more. He's trying to be very diplomatic, and it's failing. Exactly, Dar. He would not say that. He would say a whole lot. If Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and Obama, was to pass, he wouldn't just say simply RIP. He would say RIP maybe, but it would be a whole diatribe that would follow after it. I can almost guarantee it.
Don't actually wish that they have their lives taken. I saw under some of those comments, people talking about, well, why can't it be Trump? All of these, but, is Trump not in the mix? Really? You're that disgusting?
Did it really say that? Because if it did, you would have pulled that up, just like you pulled up that other tweet.
Of a human being? And I use the term human being lightly. Really? That's how hardened and darkened your heart is? Really?
And if it's hardened and darkened and cold, I think after dealing with 400 plus years of systemic oppression has made it that way. And if you feel some type of way about it, then you can just move right along. I hear there's a settlement in Arkansas. Well, if the Hodge twins couldn't get in, then there's definitely no hope for you. I'm just saying.
I even wish that on my quote unquote worst. I don't. I wish they leave me the hell alone. I wish they do right by the people that they're supposed to be doing right by, but I'm not going to wish that on them. So, yeah, there's that. Appreciate you guys.
Okay. Oh, God. Now he's pouring tea, y'all. He's pouring tea. So that's the end of that. Y'all, we made it. Put some hand claps in the chat. We made it to the end, y'all. We made it to the end. I know that was a hard watch. I know it was a hard watch. But now the time has come because I know people have something they want to say. I know you do. And shout out to the people that's in the chat. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to go and hit the like button. I'm actually going to turn the timer on today for the sake, because I know it's a lot of people that's going to come up, but for the sake of time, but I'm going to add on an additional minute. So instead of the usual 2, you're getting 3. So use them wisely. And I know y'all got a lot to say because y'all said a lot in this chat. So the link is now officially in the chat. Feel free to come on up. Remember, 3 minutes is your limit. And see, 3 people just popped in already. That's exactly why I knew that I had to cut this timer on the day. Let's see. Of course, y'all already know who's up first. Wallow, what's going on?
What's going on, Torrin? What's going on, everybody in the chat? It won't just. I hope he understands that all those accounts that he was talking about, all those accounts ain't black. You don't know, huh?
I was agreeing with you.
Like, you don't know who them folks are. Like, you do realize there's other people that use black gifts other than black people. You do. I hope you understand that, sir. I don't know how stupid you can be. Like, Jesus Christ. And also, it wasn't just black people dunking on Hogan's deal. Kid can vouch for me when I say this. Church, whoever, Cosmo, all them wrestling Twitter sites who don't like Hulk Hogan was talking junk about him too. And most of those are run by PC men.
Remember, I don't know. Did you see the video I did today?
Yeah.
The perfect example, using them burner accounts.
Exactly. So for him to sit here and say, "Oh, it was just quote unquote black people," nah, it was some black folks out there. But he failed to mention all the stuff that he did, not just the black folks, but other wrestlers like him. Like you said, the union stuff. Also, before I land, I'm gonna say this. I know if you're a wrestling fan, you remember what he did at Bash at the Beach 2000. It was last month, where he screwed the whole damn company because he wanted to win the match. He didn't want to put the new guy over. So the match began to show. The guy laid down. He pinned him. Everybody looked confused. The writer came out there, cursed Hulk Hogan, slammed the hell out, and he was never sent in that company again. Hulk Hogan helped WCW, but he also helped kill that company too. So yeah, Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga. And I'll land there.
Appreciate you coming up. And also to add on, don't forget that Hulk Hogan's last big appearance, as far as wrestling goes, the entire crowd booed him. Like, they practically booed him out of the arena. That is not a way you want to leave a legacy. Like, think about it. The last time you made a big appearance like that before you passed, of course, at the time he didn't know he was going to die, but that's the last time that's how people are going to remember you at the end, is that moment right there. All right, next we got Mr. Williams. What's going on?
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, well, I just kind of came on when you brought Jason Tatum Jr. on. That's what I thought it was at first. I looked at him, he was way smaller. But the one thing he don't get is that Hogan said that word so easily, like he does it all the time. He just
like it's so casual.
Yeah, he just happened to get recorded. And that's what people ain't getting. I actually forgot about all that because I can't keep up with everybody. Now, what you said, I didn't know his daughter pretty much just said, just completely disowned him. I don't know if they ever, made up anytime soon. But I'm like, I didn't even know that was going on. But I don't keep up with them people's lives.
Yeah.
And when dude was talking about how we're celebrating his death, well, y'all been celebrating George Floyd's death since he died. And like, he didn't die by some crazy circumstances. We seen it in real time, and every year they will get together. And I think you, Lisa, or Phil would sometimes talk about it if it just happens to get posted somewhere. And it's not just in America, because we've seen that stuff in London. I think people still do Trayvonin.
Oh yeah, I remember when they did that.
And I think they even still do. Yeah. Okay, I was thinking of Tamir, but yeah, it's the fact that they do Trayvon still. It's like, but then he says we play victim, blah blah blah, and you already said it's the same talking points over and over and over again. I don't even care. It's like, bro, just know your history. Look at the people that you cheering for, and how he brought up how we worship. I guess we cry over rappers and stuff. I don't know who does, but they have I put in the comment section, they have a whole mountain of Mount Rushmore filled with racist slave owners. Big mountain. all these faces of all these evil people, and Trump wants to add his face up there. So there you go. But I'm just gonna go ahead and stop right there. Let everybody else get their time. But thanks, man, for having me on.
No problem. Thanks for coming up.
All right.
Shout out to Mr. Williams for coming up. And also shout out to KG for mentioning that part, because I didn't know. His daughter, Brooke Hogan, demanded to be taken out of her dad's will. That's how much of a separation or detached she became from her dad. So to ask to be demand to be out of the will, that's saying a lot, because that means she stood to get a lot of money or properties and assets after he passed, and she wanted no parts. Like what he said must have mentally scarred her. Next up, we got Church. What's going on?
What up with you, Torian? God dang you, KG, taking one of my talking points. I was just about to say that, fam. When Hulk Hogan died, it was just a regular day for me. I didn't mention him. You know, when I saw the picture, I put rest in piss and good riddance, and I left that and went about my day. I didn't speak about him on the channel. I was actually live that day. Didn't care to. That's how much he meant to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I never really liked Hulk Hogan. Like, he wasn't like my kind of wrestler. Really, my favorite, if I'm gonna put somebody in that mix, it would have been Ultimate Warrior or goddamn Macho Man. Macho Man was funny as hell. Hulk Hogan was just a one-dimensional character. And the leg drop finisher, like the big boot leg drop, beating on his chest, humping and puffing around the stage. Like, I never got into that. You dig what I'm saying? So, to be honest with you, it was just another day. And I was going to say, these folks running around here putting on the cape for Hogan and his anti-black racism, you guys are just running around here as people that nobody knows, right? His own daughter, and I was, like I said, KG took my point, his own daughter has called him out and called him a scumbag several times over. So who should I believe? Somebody who's never met this man, who he would have called you an N-word as well, or should I believe his own damn flesh and blood? That makes no damn sense to me. If his own flesh and blood is having the same reaction that we're having, then who's really in the right or wrong?
Exactly.
And honestly, I didn't even bring up Ozzy Osbourne when he like Ozzy Osbourne would have got more respect than goddamn Hogan to me. But lastly, this dude brought up how he grew up on Hogan. His daddy was Hogan and his grandfather was Vince McMahon. That goes to show you the influence that he had in his house. That's right. That's, for me, that's right up there when Herschel Walker has said that Trump was like a father to him. Remember when Herschel said that? That's right up there with that. Or when Byron Donald says, "Daddy's back."
Oh, oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was so cringe.
These people are totally ridiculous. And listen to the names he was naming. I grew up in the Stone Cold era with the Rock, the Undertaker, the era that he's talking about. The greatest era of all times, 97 to 2002, was literally the Attitude Era. Hogan didn't come back into WWE until 2005, I believe, after Vince McMahon bought WCW, which was arguably one of the most worst eras. Thank you for having me up, family. I'm just saying. But
No
much
problem.
love.
Thanks for coming up, Church. Yeah, I forgot that Herschel Walker had said that, and that Byron Donalds had referred to Trump as daddy. I said these people got some serious paternal issues. It's sad. It's very sad. All right, next up we got Jonathan. What's going on?
So, Torian.
You want to stay in this area?
Yeah.
Ain't you going to say that?
Are you ready?
Yeah. What's up, man?
Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Hulk Hogan, that was my idol as a little kid. So to see that side of him after like 35, 36 years, that disappointed me. Made me question about the white celebrities and the white athletes and the white wrestlers. So I'm praying that the Undertaker, who's from Houston, Stone Cold Steve Austin from Texas. Shawn Michaels, also from Texas. My fellow Texan wrestlers are not like that. Nor Lex Luger and Sting. Man, it's a lot of white folks in the entertainment industry that are racist. Man, that's the scary part. Yeah,
No, that's not. That shouldn't be surprising to anyone. Listen, just because they're in the entertainment industry and they make a lot of money and they're entertaining, that's their job. But then when you get beneath the surface, you wonder how are they like when those cameras are off, when nobody's around. I said, be a fly on the wall. I bet you a lot of them harbor a lot of anti-black sentiments.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I remember when you said, if you was a fly on the wall, what I'm saying, you really know what they really like behind closed doors. And I looked up Google, and yeah, it confirmed that Brooke Hogan told him to take herself off the wheel. So I didn't realize Hogan was that bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of messed up. Yeah, I don't go for that racism stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like what some lady said. Like every white person is racist. I'm like, damn, that can't be true. But I don't know. I don't know everyone like that. So you know what I'm saying? I'm still grieving Malcolm Jamal Warner. I'm not grieving Hulk Hogan. If Hulk Hogan didn't show the way how he is, I probably would, but nah. And screw that dude a wave. He can wave across the surfing boards in the ocean. I'm gonna let my play right here before I get busted. See you later.
Appreciate it. Wallow is upset. You listen, Jonathan only had about 36 more seconds left, and you would have got your wish. All right, next up we got Cosmo. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on? And to add to the whole situation with his daughter, she married a whole white dude and had twins by him, and Hogan still would not see his kids or connect with her and stuff to be a grandfather. But yeah, he's the real American. That's what we supposed to put all that aside and be nice and just. What about our childhood? This is what this teller in this video wanted us to say. Oh, just shut up about it. If you ain't got nothing else to say, I'm tired of hearing stuff like that. We supposed to be like, oh, well, Hogan did get us through childhood. Oh, you want to know how much of a sellout he was? To make money, he forsook his whole entire repertoire. This man is Japanese trained. He can wrestle very good, but he just wrestled a style that Vince wanted him to wrestle, and it became his icon. He never wanted to improve after that. Like, he can wrestle. The man, I saw the video. The thing is, he completely sold out and he always was interest based. This is why the whole workers union thing is a thing. This is why he would tell his son Nick to basically, badmouth the guy that he changed. He crippled that guy.
Yeah.
And I see the difference in the dynamic. Nick was the younger one. He went with what both his parents weren't shit. Brooke was like, wait a minute, hold on. This don't sit well with me. And that was the whole difference. But he was not a good dude. And I don't care. You look back on it and you realize when you grow up, you got better, that there was other people around that was like, yeah, that's the better talent. Macho Man was a better wrestler. Or this person or that. Bret Hart, all these people. Hogan, like he said, like, I'm going to be like Bison on a crappy Street Fighter movie. What was the worst day of your life? To me, it was just Tuesday. And that's when I'm going to land my plane.
Appreciate you coming up.
All right.
Wallow, you 0-2 right now. All right, next up we got Mansa Musa. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on? You?
I can hear you.
All right, man. I'm about to slide this spicy beef patty meat button off me, y'all. Listen, this guy. I don't know why they keep bringing up the George Floyd thing, because it's getting out of hand. Nobody saw George Floyd as a martyr necessarily. We saw him as a means of, like, this is what they do to us in the public eye. This is the disrespect we get from the police on the regular. Nobody wanted him to be a martyr. Nobody wanted statues built in his face. He was just another regular brother like you and I, who just happened to get hemmed up by the police, like all of us do. especially here in America. So nobody asked for statues. Y'all built that out of your own guilt. That's where that came from. So people keep using this George Floyd thing. There's nothing against George Floyd, but we didn't ask for statues to be built in his honor. Nobody asked for none of that. And then another thing is like when you got people like this who claim to be black and they say things like this, I don't recognize you as black. You black looking, but you ain't black. Because if you were black, you would understand. So you just black look. You know, you say he funny, but he funny looking too. Yeah, you funny, but you funny looking. So he black, but he black looking. So yeah, I ain't tripping on him. So just one of these guys that's out here. Plus he was sipping some tea like he was on some sassiness. So we ain't gotta worry about him.
I wasn't expecting that part. I wasn't expecting that part at the
yeah,
I was not expecting that part at the end.
Yeah, you got the T on me. Yeah, we got a T on you too, pirate man. You're a booty pirate. That's why he got the ring in his nose. Anyway, that's it, man. You gotta worry. I was hoping you wasn't going to trip out on this guy. Hopefully you didn't, because Tatum was really about to have flipping computer tables around. But
yeah,
he ain't
like
nobody.
I've talked about this guy before. He's tame. And the thing is, I did go and look to see if there was anybody else that said anything. I looked up like Whitlock. I even looked up Fakem and all the others, but I didn't see anything on them. That's why it was only the ones that y'all saw in this. But him, he's the one. I saved him for last because he was the one that went on the whole tirade.
Right. So we ain't worry about nobody whose head shaped like a Google map pin that you put down when you got to go somewhere. So other than that, I'm gonna get out of here for they already wishing the death on me.
That's Wallow doing that. But I appreciate you coming up.
I see you, Wallow.
Shout out to Mansa Musa for coming up. Next up, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? It's Duke CT. And you know what? This whole thing, I'm not really surprised by all these tethers and all one just like jumping on Hogan or just that slobbing the knob when Brock Lesnar came back, ignoring all the stuff they did. But I'm like, yeah, that's what they do, They don't know what type of honor, integrity, and all this, all the type of things. They're just like, well, hey, it's okay to disparage people and everything else. That is, I think, Fresh Black Truth talks about this. He talks about how they're raised in these cultures of like there's no integrity, no honor, no, that's why scammers and everything else, like, they come up and everything else. That's normal to them. It's normal for people to look at this and just say, hey, that's what it is. That's what people are. You can badmouth black folk. You can hurt all the people around them, and they still can be like, hey, it's all right because it's part of the game. It's okay. There's no honor, there's no integrity, and that's what it is. And when you see Hogan's legacy, I was a kid back in the 90s. It was like the NWO and everything else. I just got tired of it, and I watched like The Rock and Stone Cold and all that stuff. I left WCW when they started going to NWO stuff like for far too damn long, and I went to WF and everything else. And then he got that nostalgia push in the 2000 and in the early 2000s when WCW got bought by WWE and everything. And then he just hung around. Then his son came in and basically, I think years later, this is when he was in TNA or whatever, ruining that company, bringing back all his old friends like Bubba the Lud Sponge, and you got like the Nasty Boys in their 40s and 50s hanging around and everything else. and then had his son, which I don't know what he was doing, got that big accident, and I remember the audio from his visit from. You remember that audio? But when I
tried to find it, but it's so old that it's kind of hard to find. But I do remember like some of the transcript and what he did say in it.
He says, the poor other guys like, well, God must have hated him because that's how he's all messed up and everything. Yeah. And then he says, I hope we don't return back as Blizzak. What the hell is he talking?
Blizzak. Yeah, that's what he said.
And tell his daughter later on, like, I don't want you to date any black guys or whatever. Hell, you have Mark Henry, a wrestler and everything, had to heard all that audio and it's like, hey man, look, you could be really apologetic. Go to some of these black colleges, come in here and do all the type of. You know what he said? Nah, that don't work for me, brother. And just kept on doing all this other stuff. So when Hogan died, I'm like, hey, He was nice. He was he was a big star. But hey.
All right. Appreciate you coming. Appreciate you coming up.
Peace.
Oh, I know Wallow was happy about that. He's now 2-3. Wallow's now 2-3. Oh, Moochie said that video's on TikTok. Well, I'm not on TikTok, but I'm sure it has made its rounds. All right, next up. Oh, we got a celebrity coming to the stage. Oh, Macho Kid Randy Gravity. What a name.
Oh, yeah. How are you doing, young man?
Doing good.
I just wanted to pop in from the Macho Man just saw Hogan again getting stretched by the Iron Sheik. You gotta give me a second. It's okay, Sheik. It's okay. But anyway, how are you doing, sir?
Doing good.
All I gotta say is as I get ready for my match with Piper, dig it. Snap into a Slim Jim and be a man, Hogan.
Appreciate you sorting to the point. And we got one more person coming to the stage, and I gotta play the intro.
Heed my command and reclaim these relics of hatred.
Hurricane Niecy to round us out. What's going on?
In summary, well, first before I give my summation, how you doing? I thought you was gonna pop some guts the other day with Fake 'em.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Good evening to you. Good evening, family in the chat. In conclusion, we all gonna die. Hulk Hogan is reaping what he has sown. May he burn well in hell. Love you.
Peace. Shout out to Miss Niecy. And I was trying to have Miss Niecy be last because that was her request, but then AW1 going to pop up right here at the he dropped down. But anyway, I think that might be the end because AW1 just dropped down right as I was getting ready to bring him up. But anyway, y'all, that is going to bring this live to a close. Shout out to everyone that came through. This was a good one right here. Shout out to DeMarcus, Till Dog, and Miss Jalen for hitting the super chat. I greatly appreciate it. The next live, like I said, the part 2 to this live, because like I said, this is like a part 1. It's an unofficial part 1. So part 2 is going to be on Saturday. I would have had it on Thursday, but I won't be available to do the live on Thursday. So it's going to be on Saturday, and that's going to be on Joey Swole. And then I'm going to also incorporate what Michael Rappaport actually had to say. So we're going to talk about what Joey Swole had to say, what he said as it pertains to Hulk Hogan, and the comment that he made towards Black people. Many of y'all in the chat have already seen it. So that's going to be like the unofficial part 2 to this. That's going to be the sequel. So that's going to be on Saturday. I think I'm going to do it at like maybe 4 or maybe even around the same time. So it's probably around 4 though. So definitely be on the lookout for that one. That one probably won't take as long to get through because it's just on one person. But anyway, y'all, with that being said, y'all enjoy the rest of your day. A shout out to all the members, all the mods, all the people on Patreon. Again, if you're on Patreon, you will be receiving a new video tonight. So be on the lookout for that at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And with that being said, we'll have 2 videos, of course, coming tomorrow at 10 and 3. So be on the lookout for those. And with that being said, y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe. And most importantly, be one.